Good morning, everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to continue the previous topic of basic building components. And in the last lecture, we had discussed the basic functional requirements of a building, the design and construction requirements like comfort, sound insulation, security, economy in detail. And today we are going to start with the actual building components. So, any building, no matter how small in scale or large in scale, can be divided into three different parts vertically. One is the foundation, the other one stacked above it is the plinth, and the part above it is the superstructure. Foundation, as you all know, is the part of the building that is constructed below ground level and it is in direct contact with substrata and transmits all the loads to the subsoil. Now, what does that mean? It means that foundation is the base of a building, which is sub foundation is the base of the building that is embedded inside the ground and it provides the basic support that the building needs to keep standing up. And what foundation does is all of the loads that we talked about, structural loads that we talked about, the dead load, that is the load of the building, load of the furniture and the people and everything in it, that load is transferred into the ground through foundation. Then the plinth is basically the base of the building that we stand on. It is the ground level, ground floor of the building, and the floor surface. And the built up area is measured at plinth level, meaning whatever the area of the plinth is. When, for example, in a residence, you walk up to the front of a building and then you climb the steps and so the plinth is basically the part that you walk in a building. So basically the entrance level of the building. And the complete floor area of the plinth or the ground floor is the built up area. Then the superstructure is all the floors, the walls, and everything above the plinth. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
मैम आप प्लीज इसको फिगर से एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो?
किस चीज़ को?
मैम जो आपने ये कंस्ट्रक्शन बिल्डिंग कंपोनेंट्स में तो ये आपने बेस लेवल और मैम आपने
राइट,
बताया तो
राइट।
मैम इसे मैम आप फिगर से मैम थोड़ा सा मैम एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं? मैम ऐसे समझ में नहीं आ रहा।
ओके। आप रोड से किसी बिल्डिंग के एंट्रेंस पे जाते हो एंड देन आप मे बी एक स्टेप मे बी 5 स्टेप्स ऊपर चढ़ते हो, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल इन योर डिपार्टमेंट आप रोड से आते हो एंड देन यू वॉक 5 और 6 स्टेप्स अप, राइट? एंड देन आपका वो पूरा ग्राउंड फ्लोर आता है, राइट?
यस मैम।
वो पार्ट जो पार्ट बिल्कुल ज़मीन से, ग्राउंड एज़ इन जो अर्थ होती है, वहाँ से ग्राउंड लेवल तक, किसी भी ग्राउंड फ्लोर तक का जो पूरा हाइट होती है बिल्डिंग की, वो प्लिंथ होती है। फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल, आई कैन
Okay.
maybe show you a figure. Like, yeah, let me share my that tab. Can you see this image?
Yes, ma'am.
So you see the gray road in front of it, and then there's two steps when you enter the building itself. जिस लेवल पे आप बिल्डिंग में एंटर होते हैं, वो लेवल प्लिंथ लेवल होता है, एंड जो उस लेवल से लेके ग्राउंड तक का हाइट होती है, दैट इज कॉल्ड द प्लिंथ इटसेल्फ, इट्स अ हाइट ऑफ द प्लिंथ। तो ज़मीन से लेके ग्राउंड फ्लोर तक की जो पूरा बेस होता है, दैट इज़ द प्लिंथ, एंड द फ्लोर दैट यू वॉक ऑन ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे, दैट इज़ द प्लिंथ लेवल।
Okay, ma'am.
So any building, be it a skyscraper or a small scale building, they will have a foundation, then a plinth on top of it, and rest of the building above the plinth is called the superstructure. Read this once and tell me if you have any doubts. If any word or if there's any term that you do not understand, let me know.
No, ma'am, no doubt.
Okay. So among this, if we divide these three parts even further, what are the individual building components and why they're important? Foundation itself, it's called the substructure. Sub means it's underneath, lower substructure of the building. The part that is below the structure of the building is called the foundation. It is the most critical part of the building which transmits the entire load of the building to the subsoil, in which it rests in such a way that settlement of the soil does not fail in shear. Means that if you construct a building which has all kinds of loads and weights that it carries on top of the ground, so the whole weight will transfer to the part that is at the lowest level because of gravity. And so that lowest part needs to be embedded inside the ground so that the building doesn't topple. It doesn't fall, right? And so, for this very reason, to keep the building stable, the foundation should be constructed in such a way that if the soil settles, see, if you place any kind of weight on something like soil or ground or something that is loose and it can settle, and compare that weight to something of that of a building, there are chances that the soil or the ground will settle, meaning it will, because of the pressure, because of the load of the building, it will settle down. So the whole foundation should rest on the ground in such a way that because of that settlement, the building doesn't tilt or incline or fall over. For this is a very good example of this is the Tower of Pisa. Do you know? Have you heard of
Yes,
it?
ma'am.
Uh, See, this is the Tower of Pisa, right? And it is famous for being tilted, for being inclined, and not being an upright or a straight building. It's inclined, right? It feels as if it's falling over, and that's because this foundation was not designed in a way that the entire load of the building was distributed evenly. It wasn't distributed equally and evenly around the base of the building. So it keeps settling. The because of the uneven weight, the ground in one part of the tower settles more than the rest, so it inclines. So that's why it's important that the foundation is designed in a way that it distributes the load and the weight of the building equally. Foundation Foundation of a building should be designed very carefully, as most of the failures are probably due to the faulty design of foundation.
Good
Rather
morning,
than
ma'am.
any other. Good morning, Akriti. Uh, Foundation of a building should be designed very carefully, as most of the building failures are probably due to faulty designs of foundation rather than any other cause. There is a very famous example of a library, and the architect who designed that library designed a beautiful building, but over the course of the next few years, it kept on settling. It kept on going inside the ground, inch by inch, every year, and that whole building is sinking. And the whole reason behind it was that that architect, while designing the structure of the building, while designing the foundation, did not take into account that the library will have lots of books. So he counted for the load of the building itself. he accounted for the load of the furniture and the people that will come in it, but he did not account for the weight of the books. And considering it was a library and there's a lot of books and it carries a lot of weight, that building, because the foundation and the structure wasn't designed to be able to take that much load, it keeps sinking because of the weight of the books. So found because most of the design failures, when buildings collapse, they walls topple, slabs गिर जाते हैं. That happens because of the foundation isn't designed in a perfect manner, or maybe the structure isn't designed in a perfect manner. Then the plinth. Plinth is a part of the superstructure located between the ground level and the floor level. So floor, as in the ground or the earth, and the ground floor of the building. That part, that layer is called the plinth, and the height of the plinth should not be less than 45 centimeters. The height of the plinth should not be less than 45 centimeters, which means for 450 mm, which equals to how much? Hmm? 45 centimeter means 1 foot and 6 inches, 1.5 feet. So any plinth, the plinth level, the height of the plinth should not be less than 1 foot 6 inches. And it also depends on the architectural elevation. For example, the parliament, Indian parliament is designed in a way that its plinth is actually the first floor of the building. There is a whole ground level floor underneath the plinth. So when you enter the building, you walk up the steps and the you will enter the building from the first floor, not from the ground floor. And it is designed in that way because the area of the parliament is so huge that a normal plinth of 2 feet or 1 foot will not even be visible. It will be nothing compared to the scale of the building. So it should be proportionate. And to make it proportionate, they have kept the plinth to be an entire floor. If you see the red sandstone part of the parliament is actually the plinth. So it depends also on the height and scale of the building, but in any case, in any scale, the plinth should not be less than 45 centimeters or 1 foot 6 inches. Usually coping, plinth beam and damp proof courses are provided at the top of the plinth. Why? Because first of all, why do we provide a plinth? Why can't we just start the building right at the ground floor? We're wasting height. Why do you think we need to construct a plinth? Hmm? Anyone? Shivani?
No, ma'am, I don't know.
Okay, plinth. See, when it rains, and when it rains a lot, uh, we get a lot of water that accumulates around our buildings and on our streets. And if we don't have a plinth, that water will come right into our house. First of all, that's one reason to prevent surface runoff or rainwater um, to drain into the house, right? That's one point. And the other point is for safety. Any creatures, any small animals that suppose in your garden, in a garden you find frogs, earthworms, and all sorts of creatures on the ground. And if your house continues on that same level, there is a chance that these creatures will enter your house as well. So to prevent water, mainly to prevent water, dust, or things like that, and creatures to enter your building, we should provide a plinth. And for that same reason, we provide a damp-proof core so that any dampness from the earth or from the rainwater, it doesn't enter the foundation of the building. Because we know if the foundation is damaged, the building will collapse. Then the third building component, which is very important,
Okay, ma'am.
is masonry or RCC walls. Masonry means brick walls or RCC walls and columns. This what is the importance of walls in a building? This is a very basic thing. Why do we need walls? Why can't we just construct a
Ma'am,
floor and hmm?
safety walls
Right, safety.
and things
Safety
protect.
from, yes, um, from animals, from the environmental factors like rain, dust, storm, sunlight, to protect us from environmental factors, to protect us from animals, from burglars, from thieves. Walls provide an envelope of protection around the building, around the living space, the building for the occupants. So walls are used to enclose or divide the floor space. We have walls around the building and inside the building. So outside external walls provide an envelope, and the internal walls divide the floor space into different rooms or spaces. Then there are two kinds of walls because there are two kinds of structures. One is load bearing structure. Load bearing structure is the ones you find in really old houses. Load bearing structures is basically you construct thick masonry walls, which are usually 2.5 to 3 bricks wide, and these thick 1 foot walls form the structure of the frame of the building, meaning all the load of higher floors or the ceiling and everything rests on these walls. If the walls were to be damaged, the building might also collapse. So load bearing walls means the walls bear the load of the building. And the other kind of a structure is that we see nowadays is framed structures, meaning we construct the frame of the building first, meaning the columns, the slab, and the staircases. If you've seen any new constructions happening, this is what you see. You see the staircase and the slab first, and then they construct, meaning they construct the columns, and then they construct the stairs and slabs, and then they continue that. So they create a frame, a skeleton for the building, and then the walls are just for protection. The walls are shear walls, meaning they don't take any load of the building. They're just to fill the space, fill up the wall space. And in some cases, you see glass used as a wall. You see glass facades. You don't see buildings that have bricks.
Yes, ma'am.
So two kinds of structures. This is very basic knowledge, and one is a load bearing structure that have load bearing walls in which you don't have columns or beams. It's just walls जिसके ऊपर स्लैब रखा होता है, जिसके ऊपर walls होती हैं, जिसके ऊपर स्लैब रखा होता है. That's a load bearing structure. Then the frame structure has columns and slabs and beams, and then walls are just as uh, an envelope to enclose spaces. Read this page once and let me know if you have any doubts. Any doubts?
मैम फाउंडेशन की मैम थर्ड लाइन में आप एक्सप्लेन करिए फिर से।
Third line, foundation of a building should be designed very carefully as most of the failures are probably due to faulty design of foundation rather than any other cause. Uh, Foundation is the very base of the building, meaning the whole building is standing because of the foundation. So we need the foundation to be strong, otherwise the rest of the building that is resting on it will fall down. That's what they're saying. Ki when the foundation is designed and constructed, that should be done very carefully. So because most of the failures are due to faulty design of foundation, means if there is a fault in the foundation, and if the foundation cracks, or maybe there is dampness, if they haven't provided a damp proofing course, if the dampness gets in there, if it crumbles, if it cracks, if it settles means, for example, when you walk on sand, right? When you walk on sand, your feet will somewhat sink inside the sand because the sand is quite brisk, and it when it takes your weight, it settles a little. And then imagine a building being constructed that is not, jiska base is not strong enough or designed well enough, it will settle somewhat. And when we design foundations, we keep this in mind that the building is going to settle the ground a little. And so if it is like in the example of the library, the architect did not consider the weight of the books, so when they placed all the books in the library, weight of the building increased and it settled, it sunk inside the ground, and it still keeps sinking. So any fault in the foundation, imagine those human pyramids that people make on Janmashtami, right? The very base people in the base, right? जो लोग बिल्कुल बेस में खड़े होते हैं, if you disturb them, then everybody on top of them will fall down, right? because
यस
जिस
मैम।
because जिस बेस पे वो खड़े हुए हैं वही डिस्टर्ब हो गया, तो बाकी का ऊपर वाला पार्ट तो गिर ही जाएगा. सेम गोज फॉर बिल्डिंग्स. अगर बिल्डिंग का बेस ही डैमेज हो जाएगा, टेढ़ा हो गया, गिर गया, टूट गया, गिरेगा क्या? टेढ़ा हो गया या टूट गया, या डैम्पनेस आ गई एंड इट रॉट्स, एंड फंगस लग जाएगी या कुछ होगा, तो व्हाट हैपेंस इज कि बेस ही खराब हो जाएगा, इट बिकम्स वीकर एंड देन द बिल्डिंग इटसेल्फ विल get damaged. Either if either it falls, or either it'll uh, become inclined. That's what they're saying. You must have heard people tell you, like, to do anything properly, to do perform well, you should have a strong foundation. That means that your base should be strong. Otherwise, anything you build on top of it will not be strong enough. आकृति, कुछ क्लियर हुआ?
यस मैम, थोड़ा थोड़ा क्लियर हुआ मुझे, बाकी रीड कर रही हूँ।
हम्म. So then masonry, load-bearing walls should be strong enough to take its own weight, superimposed weight, and lateral pressure of the wind. Um, Meaning load bearing walls. पहले तो building में के structure में everything, the in case of load bearing structures you have walls which are very thick and heavy, and then you have the slab, meaning the ceiling, the floor base of the building, and then maybe you have higher floors. See, load bearing structures are not taller than 2 floors, or yeah, not taller than that, because then the load increases so much that it won't be able to um, the foundation won't be able to take the load and it will start settling. So in a load bearing structure, the walls, the weight of the walls, then the weight imposed, superimposed, meaning weight put on top of it by the slabs or maybe the upper floor, and then the wind pressure. जब हवा चलती है तो walls have to be able to withstand that pressure. If you, for example, if you hold a piece of paper from, from the bottom corners of it, and then you stand in front of a table fan or something, then it will tilt, it will be affected by it, and it won't be able to stand straight. And in a similar way, the wind, atmospheric wind, the air pressure is too much. Sometimes when you have storms, आंधी आती है तो बहुत ज़्यादा pressure पड़ता है हवा का. And in that case, the walls should be strong enough that कि वो हवा के pressure से collapse ना हो जाए. एंड वो बिल्डिंग पे अपनी खुद का ही वजन पड़ता है ऊपर के पार्ट का. For example, if you're standing, and you'll be able to stand perfectly fine because you can take your own weight. So your feet have to take the load of your own body, and then if I may tell you to give you a bunch of books and tell you to just hold it and stand still, तो आपका वज़न बढ़ जाएगा, आपके पैरों पे ज़्यादा वज़न पड़ेगा, आप थकने लगोगे। वैसे ही बिल्डिंग के फाउंडेशन पे जैसे लोड बढ़ता है, वैसे ही इफ़ वी कीप ऑन इंक्रीजिंग द लोड, एंड उसके ऊपर से इफ़ अगर हवा भी चल रही है, एंड ऑल ऑफ दीज वेट नीड टू बी टेकन into account when we're designing a building. Then walls should provide stability, weather resistance, fire resistance, heat insulation, sound insulation, privacy and security. Okay, this goes back to all of the things that we discussed over here. The basic requirements of a design or of a construction. One is comfort and convenience. If your house doesn't have any walls, you won't be comfortable or you won't be at convenience, right? And if there's no walls, there will be no fire protection, there will be no heat protection, and there will be no sound insulation. आपको बाहर जो जैसा भी मौसम है, you'll have to bear that. जितना शोर हो रहा है, जितनी भी गर्मी है, you'll have to bear it. And there will be no security because there's no walls. And बारिश होगी तो बारिश अंदर आएगी. So walls provide this protection and stability from the weather, from fire, from heat and sound. And they also provide privacy and security. And even within a building, not just outer walls. Within a building, अगर आप suppose आपके room की सारी walls हटा दें, so you won't have any privacy, right? And you won't have any sound insulation. घर में जितना भी शोर हो रहा है, आपको बिल्कुल उतना सुनाई देगा. And you'll constantly be disturbed, right? So even internal walls provide fire resistance to some point, provide heat insulation, provide sound insulation and privacy. Then The next component is floors. Floor provides support to the occupants, furniture, fixtures, and equipment of a building. Because अगर floor नहीं है, तो there will be nothing for you to stand on. Right? You cannot put your furniture anywhere if there's no floor. If it's just hollow walls, you won't have anywhere to place your furniture, your fixtures, and yourself on. So different floors divide the building into different levels to provide more accommodation on a given plot. So, for example, if you have a 200 square feet of land and you have no higher floors, you just have a ground floor, so you will only be able to accommodate a decent living room, a tiny dining space, a small kitchen, one bedroom, and one courtyard, and one toilet and bathroom. Decently, if you're not smooshing everything together. But if we want to have more people, more bedrooms, more living area, maybe a family room, maybe an entertainment room. So what we can do is, if we cannot move outside of that plot, we can go up. We will construct more floors. We'll construct the first floor for more bedrooms. We'll construct another floor for an entertainment room. And then we will maybe construct another floor for a family room or things like that. So floors provide you different levels where you can make more use of the amount of land provided to you, amount of land you have. And then floors are also the base of any building, so you can keep your furniture and fixtures and occupants on it. So the floor of a building
Yes,
immediately up above ground floor is known as ground floor, meaning the plinth level. The moment you enter the building, climb up the plinth and enter it, that is the ground floor. Uh, Maybe the upper ground floor even, if you have a lot of 10 or 12 steps. Suppose like in the fine arts building, you have to climb at least 10 to 15 steps to reach the plinth of the building. But that plinth of the building is actually an upper ground floor, because there is another floor accommodated beneath it, which goes half inside the ground and half above the ground. So that plinth is not on the ground floor, but it is on the upper ground floor. And all the floors above the ground floor are known as upper floors. The floor below the ground level is known as basement or lower level floor. Right. So in the fine arts department, if you don't go up the steps, if you uh, go down through with the staircase, you will reach the lower level floor. And if if you have a 2 or 3 5 steps ka plinth, but then you have a whole another floor underneath the ground floor, it's the basement. If a floor is more than um, 2/3, meaning 2/3 of the height is inside the ground, then it's called a basement. If it's only half inside the ground, half above, or maybe less than that, less inside the ground, then it's called a lower ground floor. Any doubts?
No, no.
Okay. And then sills, lintel, and weather sheds. Sills, lintel, and weather sheds are basically these elements surround your doors and windows. And all these three things are constructed together, but they have very different functions and very different structures. Now, a window has four edges, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
It has four faces on the wall, like जिसके बीच में frame लगा होता है. So the surface of the wall that acts as a base for the window. The top of the wall of the window opening is called a sill. where you can maybe keep your plants, maybe keep any objects, or maybe some showpieces or something like that. Those are windowsills. And the other three faces, the left and right and the top part, are called jambs. 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 Same goes for the door. A door has no sill because the sill is actually a height of 0, so it merges with the floor. There is no sill on a door, but it does have jambs on the other three sides. Then a lintel is basically like a RCC beam for the top opening, meaning if you punch a hole in a ground floor, not with your fist, if you create a wall opening, cut out in the wall, then over time the bricks, if it's a brick construction, the bricks will tend to you know sag beach में से because of gravity, because it doesn't have a base, it's just suspended. And when the grout, the mortar starts loosening, it will start collapsing. So what can we do to prevent that from happening? We can construct a base that holds the lintel. Let me show you an example. In very olden days, they used to construct triangular door openings because they didn't have a concept of a lintel. You cannot construct a lintel out of individual small units because those units will start to sag. You need a single monolithic member to be placed on top of the wall so that वो opening की top part sag नहीं हो. Let me show you. Okay, I'm going to show you a few images. See, is this visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In this image, you can see that, yeah. See, these are all bricks or maybe stone pieces, stone bricks, right? Uh, Now, if we don't have anything, if we just leave a rectangular piece open, then these bricks are eventually going to start falling down because of gravity, because they don't have a support, right? So, what
Yes,
was the
ma'am.
initial solution figured out? They used to, they didn't just start adding continuous form of brick. उन्होंने ब्रिक का थोड़ा थोड़ा बाहर निकाला, थोड़ा थोड़ा बाहर निकाला, एंड जब तक वो ओपनिंग पूरा क्लोज नहीं हो गई. So this was a very old solution found in ancient Egyptian constructions, ancient Egyptian temples or something. What they used to do was break को थोड़ा थोड़ा आगे निकाला, थोड़ा थोड़ा आगे निकाला, so that eventually it meets at the top. So they don't all fall because it has a lot of support behind it. So that was one solution, because they didn't have stone. They didn't have this idea that we could just place a long a monolithic single piece of stone over here that's it's supported over here and over here, so that it forms a base for all of the bricks above it. Then in the Roman times, they found this solution that we'll create the two posts and then we'll place a single long piece of stone on it, or maybe in a triangular form, or maybe we can form an arch. But these stone pieces, and we have nowadays we have RCC construction. So we, even if it is the walls are made out of brick, the lintel is made will be made out of RCC, and it at least 150 centimeters, 150 mm, or 6 inches of it will be rested on walls on either side of the door, so that उसके ऊपर जो भी bricks आती हैं they don't collapse. Let me show you this image. See, this is a Roman lintel. This was constructed in the Roman times. So what they did was they had these brick pieces. This is not made out of clay. These are stone bricks, stone pieces. And what they did was they constructed these posts, and then they kept a single piece of stone on top of it, so that उसके ऊपर जो भी construction आ रहा है, it doesn't fall down. Similarly, in today's constructions, we have this whole thing maybe made out of brick, but this lintel, this rectangular or cubical piece, will be made out of RCC, and at least 6 inches of it will be rested on either side on the wall. Is it clear what a lintel is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So, in the last class, I gave you all an assignment to make these uh, sections of a building and of a wall on the screen. I gave you this assignment. You had to make a sheet that showed this vertical section of a wall from foundation to the parapet, and then this cross section of a building that shows the windows and doors and everything. Have you completed this?
No, ma'am. मैम इसे ड्रॉ करना है शीट्स पे.
हाँ, this assignment is on Google Classroom, इस सब्जेक्ट की टैब में.
मैम बट A2 शीट या फिर A3.
A3 is fine. Just make sure that all the details are clear, and make
Okay.
sure that when you write it, write these labelings, make guidelines, and then write it. Because there are only two important components in this assignment. एक तो section, and उसका every part should be correct, and the labeling. So both those components should be done very neatly, and it should have already been done by today.
Okay.
Because अगर आपने बनाई होती, so it would have been very easy for you to understand कि okay, I'm talking about the base of the building, so that means this part, this is the foundation, and this is the ground. So if we climb these steps, suppose if we climb these steps, this is the foundation and this is the ground. So these are the steps and this is the ground floor of the building. So that means this part, this portion is the plinth. So understanding this whole explanation would have been much easier. You would have been able to relate. But anyways, you should complete it now and submit it before tomorrow. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you everyone.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am. Thank you.